Hello, Kim Searle here from Emotional Mastery. Welcome to episode 4 of Your Brain. Last week, I was talking about the unconscious mind, the part of the brain where we store all our memories, our emotions, our experiences, the things that we've learned, all that good stuff, plus all our bodily functions and responses. That takes place obviously throughout time, but primarily between the ages of 7 and 24 is where we've gone from just survival mode and learning as much as we can about our environment and who we live with to fitting in mode and understanding who we are. So if you do want to check that out, I'll put the link in down below, or just register for my YouTube channel and subscribe whilst you're there. Thank you. Today, however, what I want to talk about is what happens after the age of 24, 25. What happens to our learning abilities then? Basically, the brain has learned all the things to keep you safe, certainly between the ages of 0 and 7, and it's now learned how to help you fit in and learn who you are. Now, its job is to keep you there. And I think this is really important, and why the work of myself and therapists and coaches out there is so important. Because what happens is, unless you have got a desire to be somewhere, and there's another question on that I need to cover about the driver behind it, the chances are you will continue on the same trajectory that you've started. So if you decided as a teenager you wanted to be an accountant, or you wanted to work in finance or some other profession, that's the trajectory you will follow until or unless something major happens in your life that makes you question who you are. It's why we get the midlife crisis. It's why people are beginning to question where they are and who they are. At a younger age, I'm seeing more people in their 30s and some people in their 20s who are beginning to just question the status quo for themselves. But normally, up until recently, it's been those who have managed to follow that same trajectory, thinking they're doing all the right things, that they're in control. I hope you're beginning to hear you're not. Thinking you're in control, you've got the career underway, you've got the family, or you've done the traveling, whatever, and then something big happens. It could be that you're made redundant, or you have a relationship breakdown, or there is an illness either with yourself or somebody else. By the time you get into your 40s, your parents are getting much older, and there may be some more extra needs that are required there. Whatever, it starts to get you to think about who you are and what you're doing. For some people, this may never happen, but for most people, there is a point where they start to question and ask the bigger question: why am I here? What am I doing? Who am I? And what's happened is that your brain has suddenly woken up to the fact that you've been living a life that may not have been one that you would have chosen. And it's okay. Because all that means is it's the right time for you to start to reevaluate things in your world. You see, we're all on a trajectory of some sort. We're all doing certain things that, we may not realize are not of our own making. But that's where coaches and therapists can all start to help you really understand the person who counts most in your life, you. And this is not being rude, but I do want you to get the message. The person who's the most important person in your life is you. We are on your side. We are there for you. We are the advocate that is going to help you overcome all those early learnings that you've taken on, the ones where you've taken on roles maybe it's the carer when you're younger, maybe it's the successful son or the caring daughter, who knows, they're stereotypical, but this is the problem. They are stereotypical and we fall into those roles. It could be the doctrines that you've been told. You've been taught rules around your role. You may be living according to some morals or mores around society, etc., beliefs and values, la, 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 la. It's time for you to recognize, no matter what your age, to really begin to understand who you are and stop living your life according to some mantra, some institutionalization, some decision by somebody else. Join me next week when we're going to go a little deeper into some of those faulty learnings that you may have picked up and why they can be so important. Thank you for tuning in. Do drop any comments down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Thank you. Speak to you then.